Admiral Kethra Knox's holographic claws flexed over the command dais. Initiate live feed from Habitat Epsilon 7, maximum bandwidth, broadcast to every human vessel and colony in Sector 9. Her bridge crew snapped to obey. The Kragath flagship's emitters hummed, pushing the signal across light years. Knox watched the main view screen as the feed locked in, a cavernous human dome cracked open like an egg. Coalition troops herded screaming civilians into the open. Law's fire stitched the crowd. Bodies crumpled. Overlay the ultimatum, Knox barked. Her voice modulator buzzed with menace. Surrender all fleets within 12 cycles or every habitat burns like this. The text scrolled in glowing galactic standard. Submit or watch your kind die. Knox leaned back in her throne pod. Humans broke under spectacle. Their history vids showed it, primitive wars won by fear. This coalition of 12 species would grind them to dust. A junior officer chirped. Transmission stable, Admiral, human signals spiking, they're watching. Knox's mandibles clicked satisfaction. Good, repeat on all captured worlds, break them now. Major Mara Kincaid's fingers flew across her tactical pad as the feed hit the Task Force Orion command bunker. Screams blasted from every speaker. She froze the image on a child's face mid-fall, then scrubbed forward frame by frame. Tag that emitter array, she snapped to her ops tech. Relay node at grid 4017. Flag the dreadnought silhouette Kragath hull ident KFS 224. The bunker hummed with muted horror. Officers shifted, faces pale under the red emergency lights. Kincaid didn't look up. She traced power signatures, ship exhaust plumes, even the faint warp signatures bleeding through the broadcast. 87 data points in 2 minutes. Captain Yi Park slid a nutrient bar across her console. Mara, breathe, commands patching in. She bit into it without tasting. Their gloating means they're sloppy. Another tag, troop carrier, docked at the habitat's spine. General Harlan's face flickered on the main hollow. Kincaid, stand down, that's a psyop. We hit back blind, we play their game. Her plan rendered in 30 seconds. Strike vectors, timing synced to their broadcast cycle. Blind. Sir, I have their positions. 3 carriers, 5 relays, Knox's flagship in rearguard. We ghost in with the 7th Squadron, sever the chain. They go dark in 6 hours. Harlan rubbed his jaw. That's grief talking. We lost Epsilon 7, 2,000 souls. Revenge clouds judgment. Kincaid uploaded the file. Timestamp, 47 minutes post-feed. Not revenge, sir. Precision. Their emitters are live relays. We cut them, their whole net collapses. Orion approves or not plans filed. The general signed off, muttering. Park gripped her shoulder. Stubborn as hell, I'll reroute the supply drones. Keep your wolves fed. Kincaid nodded once. Her eyes stayed on the frozen scream. She resized the holomap, coordinates pulsing red. Answer sent. Sergeant Layla Akoy slammed her squad leaders into a huddle amid the Orion assault carrier's drill bay. Feeds live. Coalition's gutting civvies for show. We drill now, form up. Exhausted Marines groaned but grabbed rifles. Akoy paced, barking timings. Flank left on my mark. Suppress breach exfil in 30 seconds. Law's bolts cracked against shields as sim drones swarmed. Private Ruiz wiped sweat. Sarge, we saw the broadcast. My sister's on New Damascus. Drill, Akoy snapped. She hauled him into position herself. Hard choices built unbreakable units. Her own brother died in the first wave at Proxima. She channeled it into rhythm, advance, cover, repeat. Captain Park's voice crackled over comms. Akoy, resupply inbound. Fuel for 2 jumps, ammo for hell. Major's got a target package. Layla's grin was feral. Copy, squads locked. Tell Kincaid we're hungry. The drill ended clean, 0 sim casualties. Akoy checked her chronometer. Kincaid's strike window opened in 4 hours. Legate Sorenvel hunched over his strategy nexus aboard the Coalition liaison frigate. Human chatter flooded the intercept feeds, frantic, emotional. He isolated the Orion burst transmission, a strike plan, crude vectors tagged to Knox's broadcast assets. Vel's tentacles rippled amusement. Grief-driven noise, file it for archives. His aide, a spindly Vexari, queried. Legate, they move fast. Coordinates match our emitters precisely. Precisely emotional, Vel countered. He forwarded the intercept to Knox's flagship. Humans mourn, they rage, then they shatter, approve repetition of terror strikes, double the habitats. This Kincaid proves it, no strategy, just spasm. Knox's reply pinged instant approval. Excellent, Legate. Transmit from Delta 4 now. Their rage feeds our victory. Vel blanked the human plan. Mourning was weakness, operational discipline, a myth for lesser species. He plotted the next Psi-broadcast, emitters spooling up. Major Kincaid's pad chimed, Orion greenlight, she punched the execute. 7th Squadron, spool drives, Park, sync logistics. Akoy, your wolves lead the breach. Park's voice steady, pods loaded, endurance maxed. Akoy's fierce, breaching charges hot, for Epsilon. Warp jumps initiated. Kincaid watched the plot, human ships ghosted dark, threading the enemy net. Nox's carriers loomed, oblivious, broadcasting fresh screams from Delta 4. First strike hit Relay Prime. Explosion bloomed silent on sensors. Emitters winked out chain reaction. Coalition alarms wailed across the net. Nox's flagship bucked as human stealth corvettes uncloaked, point-blank. Kincaid tagged the kill shot. Flagship targeted, fire, torpedoes lanced. KFS 224 shattered, debris blooming like a grave marker. Vel's frigate shuddered next. He clutched his console as human marines, Akoy's squad, breached the hull. La's fire echoed corridors. Vel fired his sidearm, downed one boarder. But they came relentless, coordinated, eyes burning cold. A human sergeant, Akoy, loomed over him, rifle steady. Yield! Vel dropped his weapon, his translator glitched. Impossible, you mourned, you broke. Akoy zip-tied him. We adapt. Nox's final broadcast cut mid-scream. Across the sector, coalition ships went dark, isolated. Human task force pressed, relentless. Kincaid leaned back, coordinates spent. Grief forged the blade, now it cut. But Delta 4's feed lingered in her mind. More habitats burned tomorrow. Orion pushed on. The galaxy would learn. Admiral Nox's bridge vented atmosphere. She clawed at controls, but human drones swarmed her escape pod. Park's logistics ghosted supply lines dry, ships adrift, squads starving. Status! Nox roared, sensors lied empty. Human endurance outlasted them all. Vel, in captivity, watched replays. Human mourning wasn't weakness. It was the forged discipline incarnate. The Coalition's war machine cracked. Humans answered with fire, and they weren't done. Major Kincaid slammed the briefing room hatch shut. Hollow displays flickered to life, projecting the Coalition frigate's schematics over the steel table. Sergeant Akoy stood rigid, eyes locked on the glowing lines. Delta 4's gone, Kincaid said. Habitat cluster vaporized. Nox's orders, no time for tears, we hit back now. Akoy nodded once. Her platoon had pulled survivors from the wreckage 2 cycles ago. Charred hulls still haunted the shuttle bays. Kincaid tapped the map. Grid pulsed red. Single objectives per squad. Alpha, reactor overload. Plant charges detonate on exit. Beta, slice the quantum comms array. No transmissions out. Gamma, your squad, bridge takeover. Secure the legate alive if possible. Intel says he's their sector strategist. Copy, ma'am, Akoy replied. Entry vector. 0G breach from the ventral docking clamp. Park's got stealth dropships inbound. Window closes in 6 hours. Reinforcements jump in after. Akoy's jaw tightened. She pictured her squad, 20 souls, half-nursing cryoburns from the evac. Casualty projections. Kincaid met her gaze. 40% acceptable. We break their chain of command here, save 10 habitats tomorrow. Akoy saluted. Platoon geared in 10, we execute clean. Go. Kincaid killed the hollow. Akoy vanished through the hatch. Kincaid lingered, fingers tracing Delta 4's last coordinates. Grief knotted her gut. She exhaled. Checklist next. No vigils. Captain Park hunched over his logistics console aboard the Orion's Promise. Alarms chirped, blockade patrols sweeping the outer lanes. He ignored them, fingers flying across the interface. Reroute Convoy Zeta, he ordered his yeoman. Civilian markers only, refugee haulers full manifests, thread the nebular drift. The yeoman blinked. Sir, drifts laced with sensor ghosts. Coalition pickets will shred civvy signatures. Park didn't look up. They won't. Load munitions crates in cryopods, fuel slugs double-sleeved as med supplies, Park's gambit, mask military in the chaos they created, refugees from Delta 4, legit manifests. Data streams shifted. Ghost carriers, modified freighters with human crews, slipped past patrols. One pinged confirmation, Zeta 3 evading interceptors, 80% cargo intact. Park leaned back. His own family pod had burned in the first strikes. Sleep evaded him for days. Stubborn math kept the task force fueled. Orion's squadrons thirsted for this run. He keyed the all-clear to Kincaid. Supplies flowed. Blockades cracked. Sergeant Akoy gripped the 0G rail. Her platoon floated in the training bay, mag boots off, rifles slung. Exhaustion carved hollows under their eyes, 4 cycles without proper rack time. Entry drill, breach the mock hull on my mark, Akoy barked, thrusters hissed, bodies surged forward in perfect sync. Private Ruiz clipped a strut, spun wild. La's rifle sparked off bulkhead. Ruiz. Stabilize, Akoy snapped. She hauled him mid-drift, boot to his chest. Platoon flowed past, mag seals clamping vents. Timer beeped, 0004 late. Again, Akoy roared. Sleep later, Coalition don't pause for your yawns. They reset. Bodies ached, but drills hammered rhythm. 0G entry demanded precision, miss a mark, and La's fire shredded you. Akoy led the next wave, body arrow straight, breaching the sim hull first. Squad mirrored her, breach clear, secure, timer 0000, dead on. Lock it in, Akoy said, helmets nodded. She eyed them, Ruiz wiped sweat, grinned fierce. Grief from Delta 4 fueled the fire, not the fatigue. Gear check, drops in 5, we own that frigate. Legate Sorenvel paced his cell aboard the captured KFS-224. Human guards eyed him through force-field haze. Replays looped on the wall screen, Knox's fleet crumbling, his own frigate boarded. A human voice crackled over intercom. Legate, watch this. Feed switched. Human task force assembly, no memorials for their dead, no keening broadcasts like lesser races. Major Kincaid's face filled the screen, cold briefing, squads deploying. Captain Park's carriers ghosted blockades. Sergeant Akoy's platoon drilled merciless. Vel froze. You, mourn Delta 4, billions gone, rituals should shatter you, the voice chuckled. We adapt. You provoked, now learn. Screen cut. Vel sank to the deck, human grief weaponized, discipline from despair. Coalition reports flooded his implant, supply lines severed, reinforcements starved. His war machine ground down, Major Kincaid strapped into the command chair. Orion's bridge thrummed, dropships detached, stealth fields humming. Hollow showed the target frigate patrols circling tight. Park status, she queried. Convoy Zeta docked, squads fueled, armed, go loud. Akoy, platoon green, ma'am, timing's locked. Kincaid glanced at casualty sims, 42% projected. Delta 4's ghosts tallied higher, she accepted it. Launch op, all squads execute. Dropships burned silent toward the frigate. Alarms silent on enemy scopes, Park civvy masks held. Akoy's lead ship clamped ventral dock. Breaches blew. Inside, La's fire erupted. Alpha squad swarmed engineering, charges ticking. Beta sliced comms, signals died galaxy-wide. Gamma poured onto the bridge. Coalition crew fired wild. Akoy's platoon moved as one, suppressive bursts, flanks peeled. She dropped 2, rifle barking. Bridge secure, officers down. Kincaid watched feeds. Legate located, extract priority. Vel surrendered again, zip-tied beside his console. Akoy's voice cut through. Sabotage complete, pulling out. Frigate shuddered, reactor breached. It listed power failing. Human dropships peeled away as reinforcements jumped in too late, coordinates blind. Kincaid exhaled. Op success. Casualties 38%. Grief's blade struck true, but scans pinged ahead. Coalition battle group massing. Orion accelerated. More habitats teetered. Task force pressed on. Captain Park vectored fresh carriers. Next run prepped. Fuel for the long haul. Sergeant Akoy wiped blood from her cheek, platoon reforming. Ready for round 2. Vel dragged aboard Orion, stared at Kincaid. You're mourning. It's monstrous, unbreakable. Kincaid ignored him. Debrief in 10. Reinforcements inbound. We hit their yards next. No pause, no vigil, checklist scrolled. Humans departed into the void. Legate Vel slumped in interrogation. Human interrogator Park slid a tablet over. Your coalition's playbook, terror to break wills, failed. Vel rasped, we calculated your grief, weakness. Park tapped play. Akoy's drills replayed, sleep-starved soldiers sinking flawless. Grief forges us, you bomb habitats, we run checklists. Vel's mandibles clicked. Coalition prided vast fleets, terror doctrines honed over millennia. Humans, endurance, focus, they outlasted blockades, turned lost to ops tempo. Admiral Knox underestimated, Vel admitted. Her strikes provoked this, Park nodded. She did, now your yards burn. Fresh feeds, Orion squadron struck. Park's supplies flowed endless. Akoy's Marines breached another hull. Kincaid's plans layered sabotage deep. Coalition crumbled sector by sector. Vel watched, chilled. Human normal drills through exhaustion, logistics from ashes shattered empires. Kincaid entered the bay. Platoon saluted, weary but iron. She clasped Akoy's shoulder. Delta 4 avenged, yards next, Akoy grinned. Yes, ma'am, no tears, action eternal, Galaxy recoiled. Don't provoke the forged, Orion jumped, war machine reversed, humans unrelenting. Sergeant Layla Akoy's gauntlet clamped the hull seam. Her squad's breaching charge bloomed silent plasma. The alien comms tender's outer lock vaporized. No alarms yet, she waved them in. Stack left, Akoy whispered over suit comms. Perez, suppress, hail demo. Her marines flowed through the melt hole. Microgravity spun loose debris. Akoy's boots magnetized to the deck. The tender hummed, antenna arrays pulsing coalition signals across the sector. Delta 4's work, one cut here and 3 sectors went blind. Perez's shotgun barked suppressed rounds. 2 insectoid crew crumpled, chitin cracking. Hail slapped thermite bricks along the spine conduit. Akoy covered the corridor junction, her pulse steady. No rage. Just the drill, breach, clear, sever. Footsteps clattered from engineering. 3 more crew, mandibles flaring. Akoy's rifle spat flechettes. They shredded exoskeletons. Hail ignited the charges. White-hot thermite chewed through durasteel. Sparks showered. The spine groaned, signals flatlining. Spine down, Hail reported. Full amputate in 30, Akoy keyed evac. Orion, this is Reaper 1, node zeroed, Oscar Mike. Her squad extracted clean. The tender listed, antennas drooping like severed limbs. Akoy glanced at her wrist tattoo, Delta 4 names etched faint. No time. Platoon reformed outside. Round 2 inbound. Captain Yi Park nursed the throttle on the battered shuttle. Transponder spoofed as Coalition Auxiliary medevac. Wounded raiders from the yard's raid crammed the hold, vitals flickering. Customs lane ahead swarmed with patrol drones. Codes holding, Park muttered to his co-pilot. Lane 3, slow roll. Drones pinged the hull. Park fed falsified manifests wounded from Nox's latest habitat strike. Irony burned. Coalition terror meant to break humans, now it masked their bleeders. Shuttle K-19 state casualties, crackled the customs officer. Park keyed calm. 20 critical, habitat debris impacts. Request priority clear. Pause stretched. Drones circled closer. Park's fingers danced overrides. Logistics backbone, spoof, supply, survive. Cleared, Dock Bay 4. Park exhaled. Shuttle limped through the lane, Marines offloaded to hidden bays. Park rerouted ammo crates from the hold, fresh for Kincaid's next wave. No waste. Grief didn't pause resupply, he punched coordinates. Park to Orion, assets inserted, fuel caches topped, go time. Major Myra Kincaid watched the holotank flicker. Red icons pulsed, Akoy's tender dark, Park's shuttle ghosting clear. Her thumb hovered over the trigger slate. Simultaneous strikes, 12 nodes, 3 sectors. Coalition coordination gutted. Sync check, Kincaid said. Reaper 1 green, Akoy crackled. Logie green, Park added. Kincaid tapped execute. Detonations bloomed across the display. Comms spines severed from spinward relays to core hubs. Coalition fleets blinked blind. No orders, no resync. Blackout confirmed, Kincaid said. Sectors isolated. Yard strike window open. Her ops team nodded, fingers flying checklists. No cheers. Delta 4's ghosts fueled this, no tears, just triggers pulled. Kincaid's jaw set. Admiral Knox's terror playbook, bomb habitats, shatter morale, humans rebuilt from rubble, turned mourning to math. Orion squadron's spool jumps hit the yards. Legate Soren Vell's command nexus erupted in silence. Hollows flatlined, 3 sectors dark, no fleet pings, no relay chatter. Status, Vell barked, mandibles snapped. Comms tech scrambled. All spines severed, Legate, human raiders. Irrational strikes, no gain but chaos. Vell's optics narrowed. Admiral Knox's doctrine, precision terror on human habitats. Break their grief, force kneel. But feeds showed humans drilling through exhaustion. Logistics flowing endless. Now this, comms amputation. Analysis, Vell demanded. Strategist chittered. Target surgical, minimal kills, maximum disruption. Humans mourn then. This. Vell replayed intercepts. Human voices, no whales, just checklists run. Orion task force, relentless. Nox provoked monsters. Full hunt, Vell ordered. Scramble interceptors, trace raider signatures, contain the blackout. Drones launched, but sectors spun leaderless. Fleets drifted blind. Akoy's platoon boosted toward the next tender. Her marines synced drifts flawless. Sleep-starved eyes locked targets. Form wedge, she called. Thermite's hot. Perez grinned through visor. For Delta. No more action spoke. Park's shuttle ghosted away. New codes spoofed Ghost Freighter now. He patched feeds to Kincaid, enemy patrols vectoring wrong. Logistics edge, keep them chasing shadows. Kincaid's Orion prowled the void, squadrons formed on her mark. Yards loomed, coalition shipberths Knox's power base. Blackout bought the window, no pause. Jump in 5, Kincaid said. Breach protocols. Vel paced his nexus. Interceptors reported null contacts. Human raiders vanished. They predict our hunts, a tech rasped. Vel's crest flattened. Coalition mastered vast armadas, terror psyops across stars. Humans, small task force, endurance ops, grief forged to blades. Admiral Knox must know, Vel signaled. Static answered. Blackout total, fresh ping, yards under assault. Orion's signatures flared, Vel's blood chilled. Human normal, drills unrelenting, supplies from voids, unmade empires. Sergeant Akoy's squad hit the second tender's lock. Plasma bloomed, marines stacked, thermite hissed, spines severed clean. Captain Park vectored supplies to forward depots. Shuttles slipped lanes, codes fresh spoofed. Wounded healed, reloaded. Major Kincaid's detonations chained. Backup relays fried. Coalition command fractured. Legate Vel watched sectors crumble. Irrational no more, he whispered. Unbreakable. Orion struck yards, torpedoes lanced berths, Knox's fleets kindled, humans pressed, no mercy in mourning, only precision. Akoy wiped sweat in her suit, platoons saluted her. Next node, Sarge. She nodded, always. Park tallied crates. Endless, he muttered. Coalition blockades starved others. Humans scavenged stars, Kincaid eyed the tank, Knox's flag burned. One down. Vel signaled retreat vectors, too late, human focus spread. Galaxy learned, provoked the forged, reaped the void. Sergeant Layla Akoy magnetized to the third tender's hull. Her demo pack armed, quiet boarding escalated, sector screamed silent, more nodes waited, Orion hummed approval, war reversed. Legate Soren Vel gripped his command throne as his pursuit squadron plunged into the debris field. Wreckage from the coalition's shattered yards tumbled end over end. Twisted girders, venting hull plates, frozen corpses of tenders. His lead frigate, the Vexar Asterisk, bucked through the chaos, scanners painting human signatures in erratic bursts. Target the Orion lead ship, Vel barked into the comms. Force them to ground or board. His pilots crested in unison, formation tight. Coalition ships excelled at swarm tactics, overwhelming with numbers. Humans ran lean, 3 corvettes, a handful of fighters. Panic should scatter them now after the yards fall. Vel's crest quivered with anticipation. Admiral Knox's terror strikes had broken harder species. A human corvette jinked left, scraping a kilometer-long spar. No evasion chatter, no frantic maneuvers. Vel leaned forward. Close to knife range, boarding pods prepped. Debris clanged off Vexar's Asterisk shields. His squadron matched pace, lasers stitching the void. The human ship accelerated straight into the densest wreck clump, G-forces spiking readings. They're mad, a sub-lieutenant hissed. No species pushes hull stress like, follow, Vel snapped. Panic would come, it always did. Major Mara Kincaid braced in the Asterisk Orion's Fury Asterisk bridge harness, alarms blaring boarding alerts. Coalition pods latched amidships, breaching seals hissing steam. Her crew, 20 souls, half-wounded from prior strikes, stacked at the inner bulkheads, rifles hot. Cycle the vents, Kincaid ordered, voice level. Full depressurized decks 4 through 6. Now. Lieutenant Reyes paused, eyes wide behind his visor. Ma'am, that's our air, Marines inside. Do it. Kincaid yanked her own harness tighter. Personal loss flashed, her brother's face vaporized in Knox's first glassing. Grief fueled the math, 14 boarders versus 8 humans. Venting bought time, pumps reversed with a thunderous groan. Atmosphere howled out, ripping unsecured gear into the void through micro-breaches. Alien screams cut short on intercepted feeds, frozen lungs, brittle suits cracking. Human Marines inside suits held, mag boots locked. Kincaid punched evasive thrusters. Fury spun through a gutted freighter husk, debris pinging hull. Pursuit signatures closed, Vel's squadron relentless. Shields at 40%, Reyes reported. They're in the field. Good, Kincaid plotted the next tumble. Venting cleared the decks, now maneuver, no panic. Just the plan. Sergeant Layla Akoy slammed the last injured private into a harness, strapping him amid the Asterisk Fury Asterisk S Marine Bay chaos. G-forces crushed down as Kincaid's wild weave hit, 7 GS, redlining the ship. Akoy's platoon grunted, faces gray, but rifles stayed leveled on the breached lock. "Lock it down," she roared over suit comms. Plasma scars smoked on bulkheads. 2 Marines down earlier, shredded by boarders before the vent. Akoy dragged a third casualty, PFC Ruiz, leg mangled into place, injecting stims. Debris field thundered outside viewports. Coalition cutters ghosted through the junk, lasers grazing. "Incoming spin," Akoy braced. The ship corkscrewed, firing lanes whipping. Her squad snap-fired in sync, breach sealed, but boarders respawning via grapples. Private Hale puked into his helmet recyclers but kept his lane clear, burst rifling a clawing alien silhouette. "Clear left," Akoy nodded once, sweat stinging despite coolant. Her squad saluted in micro-moments between GS, drills etched deep. Nox took her homeworld. They took nodes. Endurance won. "Next breach probable starboard," she called. "Firing lanes rotate on my mark." Captain Yi Park hunched over the Asterisk Supply Ghost *S jump console, fingers flying across emergency overrides. His logistics corvette trailed the Asterisk Fury Asterisk, cargo bays stripped bare. Ammo crates vectored forward hours ago, spoofed codes slipping blockades. Pursuit squadron locked on, fuel lines extended for the long chase. Vel's lead ship pinged demands for surrender. Park ignored it. "Reserves at critical," his engineer warned. "One jump burns us dry, strands the whole task force." Park tallied manifests in his head, scavenged volatiles from asteroid belts, human stubbornness squeezing yield from dregs. Coalition blockades starved fleets. Humans refueled from nothing. "Burn it," Park keyed the sequence. Jump drives whined, pulling every last molecule. Ghost surged ahead, dumping microprobes to mask the exit flare. Reality folded. They emerged in the debris heart, Fury and escorts materializing seconds later. Vel's squadron, fuel-starved, lines severed by the sudden vector shift. Probes mimicked ghosts, drawing fire. Park vectored the last supply drone to Fury Asterisk. "Kincaid depots stocked, press them." "Acknowledged," her voice crackled, calm, organized. Vel cursed as Asterisk Vexar shuddered, engines gulping vacuum. His squadron braked hard, fuel reserves flashing red. Human ships danced through the debris like they owned it. Asterisk Orion's Fury, venting its own air to kill boarders, Marines firing under crushing GS, supplies materializing from nowhere. "Regroup," Vel signaled, but humans pressed. A fighter wing, Akoy's backup, slashed past, torpedoes lancing his wingman's engines. Scanners showed it, no panic bursts, no surrender pings. Human mourning psyops, Nox's glassings meant to shatter them. Instead, drills sharpened, logistics clawed from voids, maneuvers suicidal. "They're not breaking," the sub-lieutenant whispered, crest flat in terror. Vel watched Asterisk Fury Asterisk loop back, atmosphere cycling fresh from Park's drone, borders dead, lanes clear. Humans turned grief to blades, precise, unrelenting. "Admiral Knox," Vel signaled, priority burst. "Humans adapt, pursuit failed, recommend." Static swallowed it. Another blackout. Orion's signatures multiplied. Kincaid's bridge rocked as Asterisk Fury cleared the field. Vel's squadron limped, fighters swarming them now. She plotted the kill chain, target their fuel tenders first. "Akoy, breach teams ready?" Kincaid asked. "Locked and loaded, Major," the sergeant replied. "Platoon salutes." Park's voice cut in. "Reserves forwarded." "Next node awaits." Kincaid eyed the tank. Vel's flag wavered. One down, Galaxy watching. No mercy in mourning, only precision. Vel powered down non-essentials, squadron coalescing for retreat. Human corvettes circled like predators, lasers probing. His crests wilted. Coalition mastered terror, vast armadas, psyops that broke minds across sectors. Humans, they vented their own air, strapped wounded under GS, jumped on fumes, normal for them, unbreakable. A torpedo bloomed on his flank. Vexar listed. "Evacuate," Vel ordered. Escape pods jettisoned into the void. As his pod tumbled free, Vel glimpsed the Asterisk Fury Asterisk, Kincaid's ship, pushing past wreckage, Marines already stacking for the next tender. Sector command fractured further. "Irrational no more," he murmured. "They forge." Akoy mag-clamped to the captured tender's hull, demo pack armed. Her platoon flowed behind, quiet despite the cheers on comms. Coalition screams echoed from breached locks. "Next node, Sarge?" Hale asked, rifle ready. Akoy nodded. "Always." Park tallied the haul, fresh fuel lines, spoofed codes updated. Shuttles slipped away, wounded triaged mid-jump. Blockades meant nothing. Kincaid chained the detonations. Backup relays fried across the sector. Nox's fleets kindled in response, but humans pressed. Vel's pod pinged rescue frequencies. Silence answered. Human focus spread like voidfire. The galaxy relearned, provoked the forged reap precision. Legate Vel drifted, watching empires unmake. Orion hummed through the black. War reversed. Nodes fell, more weighted. Sergeant Akoy breached the lock. Plasma bloomed. Marines stacked. Thermite hissed. Spine severed clean. Major Kincaid stabbed the hollow console. Victim feeds from the Coalition broadcast locked into columns. Elia's Grant, Habitat 12, flash vaporized. She dragged his name to the Vexar secondary relay. Lena Tor's same strike torso pulped, slotted to Nox's fuel convoy. Fingers blurred, 214 confirmed dead. Each pinned to a node, her jaw tightened. Elia's had been her drill instructor 20 years back. No time for that. She keyed the overlay, relay chains lit red. Convoys blinked amber, depots pulsed black. Task Force Alpha, she broadcast, voice flat. Targets assigned, names etched, execute on schedule. Park's voice crackled back first. Logistics green. Fuel ghosts inbound. Akoy's followed. Ground teams synced, drills complete. Kincaid leaned back, the list hummed, grief weaponized. Nodes would burn. Captain Park gripped the shuttle yoke. Scrap dock loomed ahead, a Coalition junkyard orbiting Epsilon scrap ring. Blockade patrols swept wide arcs. He punched evasion codes stolen from a gutted tender. Engines whispered low thrust. Docking in 5, he told the pilot. Black market haulers wait at Bay 7. No chatter. Pilot nodded. Park scanned manifests, reactor coils from derelicts. Ammo fabbed in hidden asteroid forges. Food paced from pirate runs. Coalition terror strikes had gutted supply lines. Humans scavenged the bones, shuttle clamped. Airlock hissed. Park mag boots clanged onto deck plating. Shadowy figures emerged, human smugglers, Xeno fences. Park growled a scarred trader, crestless Krellian. Your scrap order, risky with patrols. Park tossed a data chit. Payment triple, reactor coils, spoof beacons, medgel crates, load now. Krellian eyes narrowed. Coalition pays more for tips. Park stepped close. Calm eyes locked. We pay in survival, yours included. He tapped his sidearm, no threat. Fact, traders shrugged, crates shifted. Park directed loaders, fuel lines snaked from black market ports. Ghost tenders linked in web, jump points masked by debris fields. Blockades choked main lanes. Humans threaded the voids, hull secured, shuttle detached. Park tallied on his pad, 80% sustained for raids, wounded bays stocked. Web holds, he murmured. Push harder. Sergeant Akoy barked into the breacher's ear. Stack. Hale left, Ruiz right. Signals standard, fist for halt, thumb for breach. Exhausted Marines snapped into line. Mixed unit, survivors from 3 gutted battalions. Shattered arms, haunted eyes. Coalition atrocity vid looped in their heads, families broadcast, pulped live. Akoy killed it days ago, replaced with drills. Again, she mag-clamped to the mock hull. Plasma torch flared, lock popped. Platoon flowed, breach clear, secure, no cheers, precision. Hale stumbled, boot caught. Sarge, legs gone, up. Akoy hauled him, hard grip, no pity. Standard rules, fist halt. No variance, we sink or die scattered. Ruiz synced signals mid-flow, fist. Thumb, breach, her squad mirrored, mixed groups gelled. Endurance forged them, sleep in shifts, drills under fire, grief, channeled to muscle memory. Lock it, Akoy ordered. Thermite hissed clean, spine severed. Next hull, move! Platoon stacked, quiet fire in their eyes, unit born. Legate Vel clutched the intercept drone's feed. His rescue pod had drifted 3 cycles. Coalition pickup finally clamped him aboard Asterisk Vanguard Asterisk. Bridge hummed tense. Nox's fleets rallied, but nodes flickered offline. Relays silent, depots ash. Vel patched the pattern, human signals ghosted across black channels. Names scrolled in their bursts, Elia's Grant, Vexar relay down. Lena Tor's convoy vaporized, precise timings. Morning logs, no. Operations schedule, his crest stiffened. Magnify, he snapped at the comms tech. Tech complied. Feeds chained, victim tallies match strike logs. Humans compiled dead into target slates. Grief as grid, Park's ghost haulers fed the blades. Akoy's ground wolves severed spines. Legate, Admiral Knox loomed on hollow, her mandibles clicked fury. Explain fractures, terror broke them, they vented air, jumped fumes, now this? Vel traced the web, human focus spread, no rage, discipline. They forge it, Admiral, morning into machine, each name a detonation. Predictable, relentless. Knox's eyes flared. Psyops failed, double strikes, broadcast more. Vel hesitated, feeds bloomed another node. Human fury ghosted through wreckage, Marines stacked. No, they relearned provocation, we poked the forge. Pod alarms pinged anew. Rescue frequencies silent. Vel's console lit, incoming human probe, he keyed evasion, too late, patterns closed, Kincaid's console pinged. Vel's intercept flagged, she smiled thin. Got you. Finger hovered over next name, target locked, Park's web spun tighter. Shuttles slipped blockades, spoof codes cycled, HFY breached live. Stack, plasma bloomed, coalition screams cut short, Knox's fleets kindled response, humans pressed, nodes chained, Empire's war machine groaned, Vel watched his console fracture. Human precision carved sectors, grief didn't fade, it targeted, Major Kincaid chained the next detonation. Backup relays fried, Knox's armada blinked blind. For Elia's, she whispered, no pause. Next, Captain Park tallied fresh hauls. Black market ports hummed under coalition noses. Sustain 90%, raids extend. Sergeant HFY enforced signals, fist halt, thumb breach, her platoon flowed as one, exhausted. Yes, unbroken, Legate Vel gripped armrests, patterns screamed truth. Humans ran mourning like ops. Terror birthed titans. Admiral Knox bellowed orders, fleets surged, too slow. Human task force hummed, names burned to ash. Galaxy relearned, provoked the grievers, reaped the forge. Orion arm echoed detonations. More names waited, war reversed clean. Admiral Keithra Knox's claws raked the hollow display. Shattered human colonies flickered red across the Orion arm. Her bridge crew froze. Legate Vel, she snarled. Your analysis claimed humans break under grief. Explain this. She stabbed a talon at the latest losses. 3 relay stations slagged, supply lines choked. Legate Soren Vel straightened, his frills quivered. Admiral, their mourning mimics weakness. Scattershot probes, erratic jumps, but patterns emerge. Discipline, not despair. Knox's eyes narrowed. Patterns, they ghost our flanks like vermin, restore fear. Order the broadcast fleet to Epsilon Eridani. Fresh colony, raid at dawn cycle, stream the screams galaxy-wide. Tag it, humanity's reckoning continues. No survivors this time. Vel's mandibles clicked. Risky, their task force hit our last relay intact. They adapt. Execute, Knox bellowed. Alarms wailed as her orders cascaded. Fleets pivoted. Epsilon Eridani bloomed on screens. Fear would crack them again. Major Mara Kincaid's console pinged. Red alert, intercepted coalition tightbeam. She leaned in, eyes tracing the decrypt. Park, she keyed her comm. Logistics actual, you see this? Captain Yi Park's voice crackled steady from his shadow freighter. I Major, Epsilon broadcast op. They're baiting with civvies again. My channels caught the prelim manifests, escort wing, broadcast core ship, drone tenders. Kincaid's fingers flew. Elia's name tag glinted on her wrist, charred from the first raid. She pushed it down. Bait them harder, leak a false rescue route. My op team's desperate scramble from grid 47 Alpha, route straight through their docking vector. Park paused. Fabric rustled, him checking manifests. Risky, my black market spoof nets hum hot. Coalition sniffers inbound, but... Doable cycling now, shuttles spoofed as Civia they'll bite. Good, sync with HFY, ambush window, docking range, capture that core intact. Kincaid locked eyes on the hollow. Coalition icons pulsed toward Epsilon, her jaw set, no pause. Sergeant Layla HFY's platoon ghosted through the debris ring. Exosuits hummed low thrust. Epsilon's gas giant loomed black. Stack port, HFY whispered. Her HUD painted targets, 3 escort corvettes fat with drones. Broadcast core ship waddled central, antennas flared for live feed. Marines flowed silent. Exhausted limbs obeyed drills. One kid, Ramirez, gripped his railgun tighter. HFY tapped his pauldron. Breathe, fist halt on my mark. Coalition escorts braked hard. False rescue signals blared, Parks leak. Priority evac inbound, their comms squawked in panic mimic. Corvettes docked, clamps extended. Thumb breach, HFY growled, plasma lanced. Breaches popped like blisters, Marines poured in. Coalition troops scrambled, frills flaring in shock. Rail slugs chewed bulkheads. HFY kicked a hatch. Core room secure. Her squad stacked, breaching. Techs inside froze mid-prayer. One raised claws, her boot cracked its skull. Core intact, Ramirez yelled. Hollow camera's word primed for screams. HFY slapped a jammer. Park package secured, extract vector hot. Kincaid's ops bay thrummed. Feeds from Akoi flooded in, Marines hauling the core ship's black box, Coalition escorts listing gutted. Park, spool it, Kincaid ordered. Hijack live, Park's comm cut through. Lines live, spoof codes cycling, feed flips in 3. Coalition bridge chatter spiked on intercept. Knox's voice, broadcast now, maximize terror, Kincaid slotted the core data. Footage queued, Coalition wrecks, twisted hulls from human strikes. Burned crews, frills charred. Her voice overlaid, cold. Coalition, you broadcast our dead. We return yours. Exchange prisoners. Coordinates follow. Refuse. More nodes fall. She hit transmit. Live feed surged galaxy-wide. Leggett-Vell watched Knox's bridge erupt. The main viewer flared, not Epsilon screams, but Coalition dead. Human narration chilled, precise, unyielding. Impossible, Knox roared. Trace that signal. Vell's console fractured with alerts. Human task force signatures bloomed, flanking her armada. Precision strikes chained, fuel depots, sensor nets. They're not broken, Vell murmured. Grief forged them, operational tempo matches ours, but endless, Knox whirled. Silence, rally fleets, too late. Human probes slipped nets. Park's logistics web fed them, ammo crates, fuel drones, spoofed jumps. Akoi's platoon docked clean, core in tow. Kincaid chained the next target, her console locked a Coalition nexus. For Elia's, thumb hovered, fired, Knox's armada blinked. Relays fried, blind spots yawned. Captain Park tallied hauls in his freighter's bay. Black market ports buzzed under Coalition patrols, his bribes thick. Sustained 92%, he reported. Raids extend 2 cycles. Akoi enforced drill in the mess. Stack. Fist halt, her platoon snapped to. Bruises bloomed, but eyes burned, unbroken. Vell gripped his armrests. Human patterns screamed, mourning as mission. No rage, just relentless forge. Terror birthed this. Knox bellowed fresh orders. Fleets surged blind. Human task force hummed closer. Kincaid's finger hovered over the prisoner exchange ping. No reply yet. Next node. Orion arm shuddered. Detonations chained. Coalition war machine groaned louder. Admiral Knox's claws shredded a datapad. The hijacked feed looped endless, her dead human demand stark. Bridge crew flinched from her glare. Leggett-Vell, she snapped. Counterstrike, all assets to Epsilon remanents. Annihilate their task force. Vell nodded, frills tight. His own probes returned scraps, human signatures everywhere, nowhere. Logistics ghosts, Park's work fed the beast. Frontline wolves, Akoi's kin tore escorts bare. He keyed evasion for his liaison ship. Too slow. Patterns closed again. Major Kincaid smiled thin at her console. Vell's intercept flagged live. Got you. She tagged his vector, bait set. Sergeant Akoi wiped blood from her visor. Platoon secured the core bay. Park, fresh drones inbound. Spoof or slag? Spoof, Park replied. Feed 'em false trails. Kincaid's got the hammer. Akoi grinned feral. Copy stacking for round 2. Kincaid synced the feeds. Prisoner exchange coords pulsed unanswered. Coalition silence screamed weakness now. Her wrist tag warmed Elia's. She chained another detonation. Nexus bloomed fire. No surrender, they learn. Knox's fleets kindled response. Probes died, but humans pressed. Nodes fell, Empire cracked. Vell watched his console die. Human precision carved his sector clean. Grief didn't scatter, it targeted. Park's web spun tighter. Shuttles slipped blockades. Spoof codes cycled endless. Akoi breached another hatch. Stack, Plasma answered. Coalition screams cut short again. Kincaid cued the next broadcast hijack. Galaxy watched. More names burned to ash. The war machine reversed. Provoked the grievers. Reaped the forge. Knox stared at the looping dead. A human voice cut mid-scream. Your turn. Fresh detonations echoed. Her armada fractured. Kincaid leaned back. Park, Akoi, next world. No pause. Task force hummed alive. Legate Soren Vell leveled his sidearm at Admiral Kethra Knox's chest. Her command throne smoked from plasma scars. Coalition guards froze behind him. Stand down, Vell barked. You're relieved, High Command's orders. Knox's mandibles clicked fury. Traitor, humans fracture us and you chain your own? Vell thumbed the restraint field active. It hummed tight around her arms. Your terror broadcasts broke 3 sectors. They didn't kneel, they sharpened. She lunged. Guards pinned her. Vell keyed his comm. Shuttle prepped. Ceasefire proposal outbound to Sol Task Force. Transmit now. Knox spat. They'll gut us anyway. Grief-mad beasts. Vell watched her dragged away. Human feeds looped in his mind. Precise strikes, no waste. Mourning as math. He signaled the bridge. Open channel, this ends. Major Mara Kincaid's console pinged. Incoming hail from Coalition remnant ship. Legate Vel's crest glowed on screen. Human Major, Vel said, voice steady, no bluster. Admiral Knox detained, ceasefire terms, full withdrawal from your rim worlds. Exchange your captured broadcast core for our prisoners. Verify, then halt. Kincaid's fingers paused over drone controls. Elias' tag warmed her wrist, another name etched last week. She chained no detonations. Yet, proof, she said. Live feeds of Knox in custody, prisoner manifests, withdrawal vectors. Vel nodded. Feeds streamed, Knox shackled in a brig cell, snarling at the lens. List scrolled, 200 humans alive, fleet signatures pulled back from Epsilon Drift. Core for them, Kincaid transmitted. Rendezvous at neutral marker 47 Alpha, drones watch. Betray and it slags your Nexus relays. Agreed. Vel's eyes narrowed. Your focus terrifies us now. Kincaid cut the line. Park, spoof the bait signatures. Akoi extraction teams on standby. We trade clean. Captain Yi Park's logistics net thrummed. Shuttles vectored silent through debris fields. Drones cycling false echoes. Their probes chase ghosts. Core secured in Bay 3. Kincaid rose. I'm planetside for handoff. Keep the hammer primed. Sergeant Layla Akoi crouched in the drop ship's belly. Her platoon stacked at the ramp. Marker 47 Alpha loomed, wrecked station, Coalition shuttles docked under white flags. Visuals, Akoi whispered. Visor feed showed alien troops unloading prisoners, ragged humans, chained but walking. Core teams inbound, Park crackled. Kincaid's shuttle touches in 60. Enemy fire spat sudden. Coalition Marines surged from shadows. Ambush, Akoi roared. Breach and cover, her squad poured out. Rifles barked precise. Aliens crumpled, overconfident, spread thin. Akoi flanked left, grenade launcher hot. Suppress the ramp, medics to prisoners. Plasma scorched her pauldron. She rolled, tagged the shooter. One down, platoon pushed. Prisoners shuffled free, chains snapped by human blades. Kincaid's shuttle screamed in. Core crate ejected on magrils. Trade now? Her voice boomed over open channel. Coalition officer waved frantic. Crate accepted. Prisoners boarded Akoi's birds, but fresh drones swarmed Knox loyalists, ignoring the flag. Park, slag him, Akoi yelled. Spoof codes failed. Enemy locked. Park's voice calm. Rerouting hammer strike. Evac in 30. Akoi planted the detonator pack at the station core. Thumb-sized beacon linked to Kincaid's wrist. For betrayals, move. Platoon hauled last prisoners aboard. Shuttles lifted under fire. Missiles chased. Park's ambush drones ignited. Coalition craft bloomed silent fireballs. Akoi strapped in. Grinned through blood-smeared visor. Clean extract, detonator live. Kincaid watched the feeds converge. Shuttles docked safe. Prisoners triaged, Elias' brother among them, hollow-eyed but breathing. Coalition fleets peeled away, verified on scopes. She keyed Vel. Withdrawals confirmed, core's yours, peace holds if you keep it. Vel's response flickered. Signed, Galaxy broadcasts the accord now. No more spirals. Kincaid signed the human copy. Task force stood down. Drones powered idle. Her wrist tag pulsed. Detonator status, armed, linked. She checked the feed. Akoi's gift blinked green at 47 Alpha's heart. No betrayal yet. She turned from the console. Quarters led to the memorial wall. Scars pocked its surface. Plasma burns from raids. Names laser-etched deep. Elias fresh among thousands. Fingers traced it. Park calmed soft. Readiness report due, Major. Logistics green. Squads refit. Kincaid nodded to empty air. Pulled her slate. Typed. Task Force Alpha operational. Prisoner recovery 100%. Detonators primed for Phase 2 if required. She hit send. Wall stared back. Grief didn't pause. It planned. Vel paced his liaison bridge. Accord sealed galaxy-wide. Human strikes halted. Knox's remnants scattered, but scopes pinged faint. At 47 Alpha, a human signal pulsed tiny, insistent. Detonator. He froze. They left it. Insurance. Legate, a tech said. Human Major filed readiness there. Prepping. Vel exhaled mandibles. Peace signed. But humans checked their fangs anyway. Kincaid sealed the slate, turned from the wall. Park, Akoi, status. All green, Park replied. Drills at dawn, Akoi added. Task force hummed alive again.